Hi everybody and welcome to Beyond Politics. It's no secret that the government costs a lot of money to run, and a government that keeps on increasing in size continues to be a burden on its citizens. And with the SABC currently, they're looking at different ways that they can increase their revenue, because the SABC has been in a state of decline for a very long time, and now what's on the cards is a levy for streaming services such as Netflix. So you can literally be charged to watch an overseas international streaming service.
And that is to then fund the local South African Broadcasting Corporation, and they're in financial difficulty. They're deep in the red, their equity, right?
It's clear from the beginning of this year the government has gone all out to increase its revenue. It's stopping at nothing to make sure it gets more money because it's actually unsustainable.
Well, I can tell you that the amount of traffic stops, they must have told the traffic officers, you need to be out in full force, we need money. And the provincial traffic was out 4 stops in 100 kilometers. I mean, I said to them at each stop, guys, do you know that just up the road, you are stealing more people's money? Because you're not stopping road offences or anything like that. They even had fancy cameras set up where they were looking at past violations and you could get 50% discount if you settled it now. They had card machine facilities. So yes, I think government is desperate for money in all its departments, and the SABC is one of those. I think it's theft, to go and take another service which is not only competition, but probably much better at what they are doing. And you can tell us in the comments what you think about the SABC programming at this stage, and why they are in the trouble that they are in, and now they want to take someone else's success and take that money from them. That's communist mentality, isn't it?
Of course, and that's how our government operates from a communistic perspective. And you either agree with it or you don't. We think it's not the most sustainable future to have.
Not at all.
So it actually made me think, what is the purpose of the SABC? Obviously, any government wants to have some means of broadcasting its information directly to the public. Hence the SABC. But the SABC is huge in terms of radio station footprint and TV station footprint, so it must employ quite a lot of people. The numbers I don't exactly know. But I think where it has failed the most is in adapting and responding to user trends. How people access information has changed a lot, not only in the past 20 years, not only in the past 10 years, but very recently as well, and will continue to change very rapidly. As the internet becomes more accessible to everyone, we are moving into a global world, and the government knows this because they are implementing policies that are completely in line with the fourth industrial revolution, but the SABC is still operating like it's 1995. And I think that has been its biggest failure, and it's caused me to question the role and function of a state broadcasting enterprise. What should it look like? What function should it have? How big should it be?
Well, I can tell you that the SABC has been a propaganda machine for whoever's in power at any given point in time in South African history. So propaganda is what you will see, and it's done in many different ways. And some people might like that, some people might not, and that's why they might choose not to watch SABC. That is why we choose not to have television at all in our home. We do use YouTube and various other streaming platforms to look at things that we are interested in. Tell us what you prefer to do. We have no need or have no desire to watch any of the SABC channels ourselves. And tell us when last you have watched anything on SABC, or whether you're still doing that. And how you feel about the fact that they are now literally wanting to, I want to call it, tax the opposition. To get money to keep on functioning as something that is defunct, like Lauren said, it's outdated.
Let's just state it again. The government is going to charge us money to go and watch an international streaming site. So we're going to be paying money to the government for watching something that is a global entity. So that is very, very interesting. And from a device that comes from another country. We're living in a globalized world already, like it or not. And
the internet has made it global.
Absolutely. I still believe in that globalized world, we can still protect borders, still protect sovereignty. I think that's of utmost importance. We still have to hold on to our identity and not just become a whole just hodgepodge for the whole global world.
Well, I think a lot of that has failed. It's shown in world politics.
European Union has proven it can't work. So it's so important we hold on to our national South African identity. And so what do you think? I'd like to know, do you foresee a future government, a future system where the government does not have any broadcasting means and it's up to private institutions only to broadcast information from the government, which means the government will really have to play its cards right so that the journalists report favorably, the privately employed journalists report favorably. On the other hand, do you feel it's inevitable that any government will naturally have some kind of means of producing information for the public and therefore will end up with some kind of enterprise like the SABC, and that's inevitable? Or do you think it's important that the majority of the news does come from the government? Where do you sit on the spectrum? Let us know in the comments. I think it's very important for us to think about. I think the way the SABC is doing things is a little bit old-fashioned, and maybe you should get with the times, and maybe they won't have to get money from citizens watching Netflix and similar such subscriptions.
And it doesn't matter how you feel about Netflix or Showmax or whatever else there might be out there. It is the principle that is the problem. And this is based on an article in my broadband. We will put a link in the description below this video as well as in the first comment, so that you can go and read that article and tell us how you feel. Comments are important. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel, and tell your friends about this situation. Talk about it at your next braai or get together, how you feel about what the broadcaster is doing now to your pocket.
Maybe we just need younger people in government with innovative ideas who aren't tied to the old politics of South Africa. But just another note, just before we end, I just do want to mention that there was a study done in 2021, I think it was, about the freedom on the net in the world. Interestingly, South Africa ranked 13th globally, just behind the United States, which I'm surprised. I thought the United States would be less free than us. But anyway, the parameters were how accessible the internet is, and I think that's probably where we scored low. And the other one is the obstacles to gaining information. So are there any restrictions to information to certain websites? China scored the absolute worst. Myanmar, Iran as well were some of the worst countries with regards to internet freedom. But we're up there, and I think that speaks to the overall hope that we have for South Africa, that we are one of the freer countries in the world. We have lots of problems. We have a very hungry government that's taking a lot of resources. But there's a lot of hope for this country as well, and we can create something beautiful here, but it takes the intentional action and thoughts of people countrywide to do so.
And financial freedom, government not taking so much tax and not delivering services. We want government to use whatever money they receive wisely. And the same with a broadcaster. If you would prefer to have a government broadcaster, make sure that they are supported. I believe they'll be supported if they do a good job.
If they do things right, yeah.
100%.
So we have so much potential in this country. We just need to get the government right, and we'll be one of the best countries in the world. We already are, but we'll be even better. And I think that's very exciting. I'll share the link to the report, the Freedom on the Net report, as well in the description. I think it's a very interesting read. Go and have a look, and it will give you a little bit of hope for the freedom that exists here in this beautiful country that is South Africa.